Welcome, everybody, back to another Flash Hour straight from Breakpoint, kind of. But we will be covering a lot of what we got done for the last 2 weeks. Breakpoint, of course, being a large portion of that, travel and all the shenanigans that goes on during Breakpoint. It was a great Breakpoint for me, made a lot of connections, met a lot of people, was able to connect with a lot of Flash users, which is great. Good morning, Panda. And yeah, and then typically what we do is we kind of have a state of the trenches, but we do have a lot to get through today. There's a lot on the docket just because of being out for 2 weeks. So we want to keep our community informed. Of course, that's what this show is all about. So we're going to jump straight into it. So I apologize if you do miss all the juicy goodness. Go ahead and rewind and watch it again. I promise it will be on YouTube, X, both on our account and on Mighty Mag's account. So I'm going to pull up the slide here. Pull in Anas. Anas, how you doing, brother?
GM. Yep, pretty good. Lot of things to dive into as we just said.
Yep. Let's dive into it. And of course, welcome everybody. If you can, leave a comment, leave a like, share it out with all your friends on X if you're on X. And if you're on YouTube, smash subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Stay up to date with the latest and greatest that's coming at you from Flash Trade. Wow. With that, let's get straight into it. All right, so here, wanted to highlight how the Remora pool is doing. I couldn't find a TVL, but correct me if I'm wrong, the starting TVL was around $500,000, I believe, was the seed. Yes. We're actually at $1.5 million now. So that is a significant growth as far as the TVL is concerned. Price growth as well. If you had invested from the very start, you would already be above 10% growth on your earnings. And this is literally a little over 2 weeks now. So 10% growth in 2 weeks.
Yes, all the while Bitcoin and crypto was slowly creeping down. The Remora pool, which is backed by equities, was crawling up.
Yes, for sure. It's a great counter trade to crypto. It really balances your portfolio out. If you are looking to hedge a little against, obviously, the crypto turmoil, this is a great index or LP token that would really serve that purpose very, very, very well. And you can see that others have recognized that already in the crypto space, hence the TVL growth.
Yes,
but
and I think
go ahead.
I really want to highlight this point that like we've been talking this a lot at the Breakpoint as well, that DeFi needs to be more than trading crypto assets. It needs to serve everything that moves, every sector that moves. We need to bring it into DeFi and make it tradable for anyone at the best possible fees. That is the promise of internet capital markets, and this is our offerings in that direction, and we are looking to basically offer as much as possible in this direction, where you would be able to trade equities, metals, more metal pairs, more forex pairs, more commodities. So this is the idea that we really want to push, that DeFi can basically support anything, any sector that moves, and there will always be a bull market in the markets. Now, if you zoom out, the bull market seems to be in the metals right now, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen that silver is up by 125% on a year-to-date basis, while gold is up by 60%. And in comparison to that, Solana is down by almost 28%, while Bitcoin is around minus 8% on a yearly basis, or I think it's double digits. But yeah, this is basically what the idea is, to offer more things on chain so that you don't need to pull your money from on chain places, and you can always get the exact exposure and better yields while your money stays on chain.
Yeah. It's the amazing promise of blockchain, right? We keep saying internet capital markets, but it's all crypto related. And it's kind of funny because it doesn't make any sense. But
I'm gonna quickly post this thing. We call it internet capitalist market but it's all crypto capital
it
market.
makes no sense. But yes, we are bringing the internet capital markets on chain. Definitely looking for stocks, forex, crypto, and everything else, anything that can trade. By the way, I mean all the metals are doing well. I think what palladium popped off, copper. So yeah, all of those things need to be on chain. We need to have them accessible, and that's the direction that Flash Trade is going.
Yes.
Our TVL actually, or I'm sorry, our total volume traded has actually jumped up by roughly almost $500 million, which is pretty intense in the last 2 weeks. Total revenue distributed for FAF stakers is $458,000. And then FLP1, still the steady Eddie, would have protected you on this downturn big time. On the downside losses, it's still holding very strong at $1.18. 2 weeks ago, it was $1.20. So you would be more than happy if you had that and you were not holding pure BTC or Sol. So that's the power of an index. Good morning, guys. All right. And moving on to Anas's favorite segment with a ton to get into. What did we get done in these last 2 weeks?
I think the most surprising fact before we dig into this was the whole, like, almost all of the people who work on the development side didn't attend Breakpoint. It was just the growth team and me and Zoheb that attended Breakpoint. So the shipping actually didn't stop in any way when we were at Breakpoint. So yeah, a lot of things went by while we were at Breakpoint. So first things first, the biggest thing was the Seeker dApp that was shipped almost, I think, 3 days ago. It is now live on the dApp store on your Seekers. And we are working on a coordinated campaign to go out by early January with the team at Seeker, where we would be using our new funded wallet feature, which is now live on Prod, where all the Seeker users would be able to get X amount of money to trade on Flash while losing nothing. So this is something very interesting, and I hope it brings a lot of recurring users, not just one bump in the active user base. And that is the push basically. Now, just because Flash is available on your Seeker, now you are able to trade forex, metals, equities on your Seeker natively. So which is a very, very big push. Apart from that, now we also have added support for having a progressive app. So basically you can add Flash Trade on your home screen and then have the full layout experience, all the while using Privy to use login and have that seamless app experience that a lot of people love, and I'm sure a lot of people use for crypto apps. So that is also a very, very, very big update that has gone by, although we haven't announced it yet because we wanted to create a whole this feature set with the funded wallet and then do the announcement. So this is something that the marketing team is behind while the development team is way ahead right now. So yeah, along with progressive web app feature that we added, we've also done a huge amount of improvements on our backend, which now anyone who logs into Flash Trade using their mobile phones or even desktops that are older version desktops can basically get the experience of, and it's super fast and it doesn't feel like it has anything to do with any blockchain. So that is something that was done behind the scenes because performance upgrade. Yeah, Max.
One thing on the progressive web app, if you don't know what that is, it's the feature on Android where you can easily go to your settings, or in the, if you're in your browser like Chrome, and then you can actually save it to your home page. So that's the feature that we're talking about. It's easily accessible now, not on the App Store, but this is just as good as literally using an app or going to it through your Chrome browser or your wallet browser or whatever you're using. And it creates a really, really seamless experience, especially if you're coming at it with a Seeker phone as well. The Seeker phone is available, just FYI, in the App Store, or in the DApp Store. Sorry, I apologize. Just to clarify those 2 points.
Yes. And another interesting thing that shipped kind of quietly was the Remora pool addition on loop scale, where now users can loop their FLPR to get extra yield over their base yield that they get. I just wanted to check how that pool is doing. Max, if you can pull a loop scale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is performing well. So yeah, because the things are up right now. So I'm just gonna check it right now.
Let's see.
FLP.R. Yeah,
Let me
it's
share my screen.
yeah.
Let's get this going. Share screen. Loop scale.
Let's see.
There we go. Let's see. FLPR is a dot.
Max, I don't think is our screen being shared? I need to check. Oh,
there we go.
Not. Yeah.
So we have FLPR. It's very simple to find. You just go to loops here in the top left. You scroll down, and then in this little search bar, you could put FLP to see all the FLP, or you could just put .R if you're looking for specifically
You can even filter by protocols. So if you just add flash trade into the filter,
oh,
you might
nice. Flash trade.
No, the filter, the plus thing.
Nice. Okay. Filter.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. So we can go straight through here.
Like you just
and then go to flash trade.
Yeah.
Scoop. Very cool.
Yep. And then you can go through all those pools by just going. So yeah, I think the most interesting thing here is the borrow fees is just 0.1%. It's almost free money to loop. Like you're not paying any borrowing costs. So if you just hover on this chart, you would see the average borrow APY is like 0.1%.
Yeah.
So it's actually nothing.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay. Yeah, that's free
looping
for sure.
Yes.
And that's just compounding your gains over and over.
So. Yes. I think this is something that a lot of people might be missing. So I just wanted to highlight that looping, the up-only markets is free on loop scale through Flash and Remora. So we all know, right? Like the SPY, Tesla, Nvidia are like the classical upmarket charts. Like if you open the full chart of SPY throughout its history, it has been an up-only asset since. Yeah, even it's going up right now as we speak on the minute time frame. So
yeah. I always do the 1 minute, throws everybody off. But if you're curious where to find the Remora pool, if you're interested in FLP.R, it is Remora pool right here. You'll see FLPR. You can do discover more and go through your mint of either FLP, which is the daily payout, or the auto compounding. Don't mix up the two. The FLP is the one that's used throughout the ecosystem with our partners. So this is the one that would be used, or you're able to loop on loop scale. And then this quick deposit is a way to quickly just get your FLP, if you wanted to access it that way on mobile as well. Just wanted to share that.
All right. I think that wraps up with the Remora pool on loop scale. Next important thing was, we wrapped up with Epoch 7 being completed and rewards being distributed. And do take note from this epoch, we have basically deprecated the DeFi integrations VP, and now you only get voltage points on trading, LPing, and referring. That's it. Apart from that, if you want FAF, you'd be seeing our campaigns going out with specific partner protocols. We would be announcing more information as we move ahead. I think we have something coming out with loop scale probably. I think right now it's almost like holiday season for many people in the West, and I can see the very beautiful Christmas tree behind Mags. A lot of people might think that's a wallpaper.
No, this is real. I swear, it's no AI. This is actually my tree.
That's sad that we have to confirm that it's real.
I know, yeah, absolutely. It is beautiful though. We did a great job.
Yep.
Sure.
Look, it's lit up as well.
Yeah.
Yep. And the next important thing is we decreased the fees on our perps by 20%. Now the fees is just about 4 bips, which is like the cheapest place to leverage trade on chain right now. When you want to take your trade without any slippage, you won't find this sort of fees anywhere else without any slippage. And the 4 bips fees remains the same even if you're trading at 500x leverage. So this is a very, very massive improvement, because if you check at other places, if you are trading any amounts above $500,000, or even if you're trading anything about 10x leverage, you would see some sort of slippage happening, or the fee structure will change. But on Flash, the fee structure is same, and it's consistently the cheapest place to trade your perps now. And the next, apart from that, we are also trying to focus on expanding our Forex offering. And right now, the fees on Forex is just 2 bips. It's nothing. And the idea is basically to add more assets. So I think we are in the direction of it, of adding more pairs to Forex and then pushing it through as we follow up. I think we went through. The one thing is like the breakpoint wrap up. I think a lot of merch was distributed courtesy to Panda, Mags, Sardak, behind the scene. And we actually saw a lot of people who knew us came to our booth, because in prior to this, whenever we used to meet people, we had to introduce ourselves by telling that, okay, we are from Flash is this. But now what we saw is like a lot of people already knew about Flash, and they just wanted to meet and just wanted to know what's coming. So that was really good to see the audience knowing the brand, and we made them happier by giving them some exclusive merch. So that was a very plus thing. And apart from that, we had a very, very great intimate boat party thanks to Soulpod brothers, Eno and Simon. And it was a very great time. I think we had the best views that Abu Dhabi had to offer. So
yeah, that was a really great party. Yeah, thank you so much to Soul Brothers, Simon, and his girlfriend or fiance. I apologize, whichever that is.
She was a perfect host.
So, yes, she was the perfect host. She did such a great job. Really stepped up when I'm sure Simon needed her the most. So shout out to the one behind the scenes. But Eno also was involved in putting it together. Thank you guys. We really appreciate it. And the boat party went off with it was like to me, that was the perfect size with the perfect amount of people where everybody could actually get to know each other, actually get to talk, make connections, and kind of have that intimate setting. I myself was able to make the rounds, introduce myself to everybody who, was there. And it wasn't like a struggle or a hassle where I didn't feel rushed through every conversation. So yeah, it was very good.
Lovely. Yep. And I think with that, we also had some very neat announcements at Breakpoint, which was one where Flash is finally going to be fully powered by ER. And stepping back from that, we actually spent almost a week in-house with the team at Magic Blocks to finalize if this whole thing was possible, because what we are trying to build hasn't been built up till now, and this thing hasn't been basically practical, like built in its practical form. So very, very excited and happy to see the engineers being passionate enough to fly first of all, and then go back to their homes before Breakpoint to make all these things happen. So shout out to developers who are basically churning out the great stuff. And I think the ER thing is gonna be a very, very huge thing coming up next quarter, and a lot of people will be caught off guard by its performance, by the
Yep.
security assumptions that it helps Flash to offer, because we don't need to go through the whole consensus mechanism, because it basically defaults to Solana for its security and there is no bridging required. This tech is basically, at least it's not understood by a lot of people, but we were able to verify it with the lead engineers at Anza as well throughout the breakpoint, and we had a very, very great conversations around that, and they were really surprised that this sort of things are being worked on behind the scene. And yeah, I think Zoheb put it in a very cleaner way that, you don't want to compete with engineers at Anza or Jito or Harmonic.
No.
You want to build over what they are building, and so
Yeah.
that things compound and you are able to ship much better way in a fashion. So yeah, I think
I'm gonna pull up
yeah,
Zahib here. Yeah,
for
I
sure,
actually
for
really
sure.
want him to go over what
I think
all has
we
been.
yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead. What all has
for
been
sure, for
happening?
sure.
Just because he's kind of the man in the room when it comes to that. I
The
love
bug.
his explanation.
Oh,
Sorry.
he just changed his handle. He is now ER engineer.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
everyone.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Uh,
Yeah, give us
so
the
it's
skinny
doing
on
just fine.
the ER.
Well, I think there have been a lot of discussions, deliberations, implementation, trial and error, and all of that to and fro with the Magic Block team as well, getting up for quite a few changes, especially the much awaited SIMD 0339, I guess, if I'm not wrong with the numbers. So yeah, SMD 339, increasing the CPI in account limit from 64 to finally 255, which kind of opens up the doors for us to kind of do a lot more, not just on mainnet with CPIs and swap routes and all of that stuff, but um, doing the delegation and undelegation from to base chain. So we had a lot of things going on actually, and this was just on the top of my mind. And one of the biggest takeaways for us was, if you've seen the success of prop AMMs, I think the path is clear. The isolation between protocol builders and sophisticated actors, let's say market makers, is going to go down. You have to be both. You have to have both in-house. I think outside of Solana as well, you see Hyperliquid winning on a sense where you have the HLP walls performing really well with in-house expertise. I think that is what Prop AMMs brought to Solana as well, where the teams themselves are not just acting as market makers on secondary markets, they're building the market themselves, optimizing execution, optimizing the transaction delivery pipeline, and kind of doing all they can to win it all. And I think it's shown results. Um, like the volumes, if they are to bear witness, I think that has shown a paradigm shift. So what we take away from it, after kind of having these thoughts run across Gabriel and other folks on Magic Block team, is that instead of all DeFi players trying and going and optimizing each and every part of the whole stack, uh, you know you could end up missing out on a few important aspects of risk management, margin engines, and all of those multiple pieces that kind of bring a protocol together. Instead of optimizing each and every component, we can utilize the while we collectively work to optimize commits and everything that moves state between and mainnet. So this is like this is scaling every application to the level of what prop AMMs can achieve in terms of cost efficiency and latencies that they're able to get. And I think that is where we are all headed. So it's a huge unlock for us if we're able to pull it off in the right way.
Yeah.
And all of our efforts have been towards making sure we have the right architecture, we have the right tools, we have the right resources to kind of pack it all together. And yeah, it's been amazing few weeks with all of the stuff that's been rolling towards a final implementation of how it would look like. So yeah, Christmas is gonna be fun.
Yes, it is. Can you just go through? I know we've said this 100 times, but can you just go through all the benefits that the from a user's perspective? What are they going to see from their perspective? Why is this important? Not just from a technological standpoint,
Yeah.
but from a user standpoint.
Oh, for sure. I mean, now that we are in the process of like building up the UX and testing out stuff, I think it's easier for us to pinpoint the benefits that users are actually going to see firsthand. And the top of the list is zero transaction fees. That is where like there have been a lot of efforts in abstracting away transaction fees, which looks simple but never really kind of gets going. So that's one big thing. There's no soul fees, there's no rent, there's no stuff that you're gonna be putting up to trade. Although there are going to be some initial costs, but the whole point here is your trading experience is truly going to be seamless, almost inseparable from trading on a centralized exchange. I think what people have been witnessing all of the exchanges outside of Solana now, we are finally able to bring that to the experience that we've got to offer. So that's a huge unlock. I think we almost see tickets coming up maybe once in a few weeks or once or twice a week that people don't have enough soul to pay for things, and that's just a big blocker for the mass adoption or general retail coming and trying out the platform. So
Hmm.
abstracting away network fees is a huge part of the push, which people are going to observe firsthand. And the other part of the obvious improvement in latencies would be, us potentially lowering fees, the whole experience being a lot more faster. I think that's something we have on the screen as well, like optimizations on the back end and performance
Yeah.
improvements that we have seen. I think a lot of it also comes from our revision of how the architecture is supposed to work and what tools have we got that can be further optimized. So a lot more. Like this is a scale where you'll see the difference from a Flash being labeled as a decentralized exchange, kind of fading away, and rivaling the UX of Binance, Robinhood, and the likes. So yeah, that's where we are getting at with ephemeral rollups, like finally allowing us to move beyond the initial blockers that Solana as a general blockchain kind of possess for UX. So that's a massive unlock, and I think the other part of the integration would be less runtime limits that we run into, a lot more assets, a lot lower fees, and a whole different game for spot as well. And ultimately, leading up to the idea of us being able to roll out order books in
Thought
addition
you were
to
going
what
to go
we've got
there.
right now. So it's like a fully structured market that we're able to support without losing out on any benefits that we've got as an Oracle-based exchange right now.
Yeah.
So that's the interesting part that users should be looking forward to, and yeah, it's all coming together really good for now, and it's much better than hoping to pull off a miracle with an SVM fork of its kind, which Nas just
Yeah.
iterated at the start. So that's what we were excited for.
Yeah, don't compete with the best in the business. Definitely compliment them. Don't compete. You'll lose. All right. And then as far as Anas, did you want to add anything to that, or do you want to move forward with what we are planning? What
I think,
is
yeah,
the future?
I think we missed one thing, which is like the funded wallet. It's a
Oh, okay.
very interesting feature that we would be rolling out in partnership with different protocols and different social media platforms, where
Yep.
we would be handing out free money to people to trade on Flash, and then if they make any money, they will get to keep that money for themselves. So expect some interesting things being rolled out, where you would be able to trade different markets like forex, equities, and then we'll have dedicated funded wallet campaigns with those sectors being
Yep.
traded.
And then just in case anybody doesn't know about funded wallet, because we didn't really go over it, a funded wallet is simply just at the moment, it's a code you enter and then your wallet is able to control it. Let's just keep it as simple as that. And then any money that you make on the funded wallet past the original amount, you get to keep, right? But if you lose anything, we lose money. So that's why we say, if you make money, you make money. If you lose money, we lose money. Simple as that.
For sure.
All right. And then let's go and move on to what's coming. What is the future of Flash?
Sheesh. Yep. The next important thing is the phase 2 of the margin engine that we are basically under testing right now. So with the phase 2 launch, we would be introducing the flu mechanism, which is flexible lock utilization, which basically allows us to list any asset irrespective of that being available on Solana. We just need the oracle and we would list it using a correlation factor with the underlying assets that we already have on Flash. So think of trading BNB, XRP, Doge on Flash. So I think these are like major assets that we never had on Flash, and we are looking forward to have them added. And this will all be enabled with the V2 launch. And I think we'll also move forward with listing hype. So a lot of listings are still underway. Even with that, we are also in parallel working to expand our Forex offering. So expect JPY, RNB, INR, all these assets that are Asian side or any side. We really want to add more Forex pairs and try to lower the fees as much as possible and give the people that a lot of people who trade Forex, because if you see right now the average Forex volumes, they are somewhere around $6 to $7 trillion every day is cleared. Although most of it is institutional volume, even if you check the retail volume, that also runs in higher billion-dollar numbers. So we fully believe that decentralized exchanges have full capability of replacing the centralized counterparties and then provide an open finance for anyone to just come on and trade if they want to trade. So that is the direction that we are basically moving towards. And the next thing is as we said, the DeFi integrations, we would be moving towards a direct FAF based rewards system through our DeFi partner. So expect some interesting announcements coming out where using the FLP token across our partners, you would be able to yield FAF by participating in those campaigns. And the next very, I think this is something that has been asked a lot, even at Breakpoint, where although FAF's structure is very similar to what you see the ownership coin structures are at, with the whole mechanism of being mintable, being fully powered by Futaki, and then having not any fixed vesting schedule. It all depends on the token holders, and all the token holders is the majority of the tokens are basically distributed between the people who hold the tokens, not something that is going to come through any inflation or any
Dilution.
any investor coming out of the blue moon or any market maker coming and dumping a lot of tokens. So FAF we are basically under talks and we'll have some more answers. And I think that this is something of a legal thing that we have to do. Is basically right now the entity that we have is under our own control, which basically owns the IP and all the equity structure of Flash, and we have to open up an entity with MetaDAO under their structure and then move these assets of Flash under that DAO, which will be directly controlled by Futaki markets. And the Futaki markets, as everyone knows, is fully controlled by FAF holders who hold the majority of voting power as of now. So that is something that would be coming out soonish.
And that's a big one, because I know a lot of people, they want to see it like protocol driven. So that's a huge one for FAF holders, and I know quite a few people walked up and talked about it. So just we did talk about it at the booth, but this is us talking about it live. So
yep. So this is something that we are working on behind the scenes and expect some announcements in the coming few weeks. And the next thing is, this is something that we just touched based upon, where Magic Blocks DevNet I'm sure the ER engineer is here, and yeah, the UI is ready. I'll be putting it out tomorrow. So we will be having a definite that is built over magic blocks, and then we will be testing it out very harshly as possible, so that we understood all the, you know, things that we still might have no clue about, but I don't know. As if you want to add some comments on this, but I think as far as the structure goes, we are fully clear on that. But yeah,
Yeah, like everything's is good on that part. The only trouble would be to kind of change the change the RPC structure, because there is a lot of like landslide scale changes across the board, with RPCs being a lot more performant, a lot of changes in indexing of not just account state but transactions in general. So there's been a lot of
Oh
improvements
yeah.
on the read layer in aggregate. So I think that that would be a learning we need to carry forward, because the biggest challenge for us would be to synchronize state between ER and mainnet or base chain, and in here would be DevNet. The idea here is to kind of make it seamless, like not have any sort of surprises for users in terms of a general flow. Right now, it's all from a single endpoint, or let's say a single RPC thing, which also is like a bit of a trouble. People need to switch RPCs due to geolocations and all of the other reasons. With ER, our biggest challenge is to make sure the general state fetched from base chain remains in sync, token balances and transfers and all of that stuff, alongside all of the operations that need to be routed to ER. So we've had discussions. We have had all of the internal scripts and validations happen, but UI could be tricky at times, and I think Mags also can add on to it. It's always tricky to kind of balance performance,
It is.
balance the right just the right amount of snappy feel, and then we're done. So yeah, fingers crossed. A big week ahead for the run up to Magic Block DevNet, and that is alongside the idea of finally having a SIMD 339 live. Probably first week of Jan. I don't think we're gonna do a feature activation on mainnet right around Christmas. So maybe a couple weeks, and we're on track to kind of have our CPIs for the mint burn routing and even spot swap routing to the final routing engine, and maybe Titan, Jupyter, DFlow. So yeah, all things lined up, and yeah, fingers crossed to get it over the finish line.
Absolutely. And the testing side will do their job well. We'll test the hell out of it.
for sure.
As we call raping the DApp. So
Oh my
get
God.
on there and make sure it is working perfectly for our users. So
Yep. I think the next one goes for Tuzoeb as well.
which is why I touched upon it a bit, and yeah, feature gate activation schedules look good, but yeah, I think Anza wouldn't take chances around Christmas, so we're looking forward to the first couple weeks of 2026 to be bangers and get the much awaited features shipped. So it kind of it opens the doorways for us to finally have our big ass CPIs to finally
let's
fit
go.
in on the routes. I
But
think
quickly,
with
Zoeb, like just imagine with the 255 limit, would we be able to get FLP1 on Jupyter Titan routing or not?
absolutely not just FLP1 in its current form, but also with
Oh
maybe BNB,
wow.
Ripple, and those markets. So
Sheesh.
that's the huge unlock, which we're
That's
looking forward to.
massive.
No, but
And yeah,
there are two questions basically. I'm doing it live right now. So one thing is like, what would be the asset limitation on pool one? And with
uh,
that,
uh, with
yeah,
255, so let's say
yes.
255 is the
Huge.
ultimate limit that we're looking at. That unlock goes to about 50 assets on a pool.
Sheesh.
So that's a big one, right?
Yeah.
Scale, baby.
Yeah, and that's just crazy. That is without like even optimizing our current architecture by a whole lot. So
Wow.
it's just a
With
free
P
unlock
token.
for us once the feature goes live. And then yeah, that has been an issue for us as well. Like even outside of CPIs, transaction size limits being to what they are have been a blocker. And I think we've gone over these limitations so many times over call, and finally we see a way out of it. And yeah, make composability great again. I think that's
Right.
that's the thing to stick by. So yes, that is number one. Yes, about 50 assets that we can have without anything breaking, no integrations kind of requiring extra effort. And then the other thing would generally be like spot swaps. What have we got in the hood there? So yeah, a lot more optimizations and yeah, maybe we compete with prop AMMs or we go for long tail assets where it's still it's still a long way for prop AMMs to kind of expand the asset horizon. So it's going to be an interesting one, especially given we have seen one of the OGs, Lifinity protocol, kind of go
Yeah.
down. Mixed feelings about that, but yeah, like we got a chance now to kind of put up an alternative way of quoting on existing assets, be it spot or kind of supporting the same markets on perpetuals with the same liquidity. I think Remora is a great start for us in exploring the possibilities there. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And then by just, I know we're extending this, but this is our last slide anyway. So I wanted to push a little bit deeper on the prop AMM side. What do you see, or how do you see us competing in that space with like swapping with a prop AMM? And what do you mean by, we're competing?
I think as Anas always have been advocating about it, they're just Oracle-based, exchanges, you know, um, masquerading in different forms. And I think we've come to this realization that there's no separation of protocol and a market maker or a liquidity provider, which we've done from day one. Like it's all integrated. We have passive liquidity on the pool, which is used actively to uh, market make on the markets just based on a single pricing source, which is paid for us. We can do a lot more with that. Like we could just go in, optimize a whole lot, which we've had like mixed discussions about. Like, could we do what prop payments do and kind of just get rid of any authentication sources and just say, we become the authority, which is what prop AMMs can do because of proprietary liquidity. You don't have external or permissionless liquidity providers going in and out. So I think that is where we've had a big drawback, where we have a public source of liquidity provisioning. The
Yeah.
pools are open; people can come in, go out as they wish. Uh, Managing that and counter coating or being more performant than prop AMMs is a big challenge. But that's what we're here for. Like our idea is to scale the pools in such a form that prop AMMs, because they're gonna stick to one particular part of the trade, we're able to offer both with a unique trust in pricing, which is coming from a dedicated source. So we're not going to be able to spoof orders or do other stuff. I think there's going to come out there are going to be a lot of discussions and deliberations around the tricks and stuff that prop AMMs play.
Yep.
It's neither good nor bad, and it's less about taking sides and knowing that as a prop AMM, the whole idea for them was to be profitable while serving those billions and billions of dollars of volume. And the idea for FLP pools have been the same: serve the maximum volumes possible and retain the maximum value for LPs. And I think that design is going to get a lot more intriguing to explore different possibilities of how we can support not just perps, but spot markets
Swaps.
routing spot volumes while maintaining the current profitability for LPs. So that's going to be a thing. And it's just the way things have been progressing on Solana, and I think even teams like Phoenix
I was just
entering.
about to say that. Yeah. Are
Yeah.
they it's funny because everybody was kind of poo-pooing I see you out there, right? I see you. Poo-pooing the pool to peer model, and then everything was about DLOB and CLOB and all that. Now we all of a sudden have prop AMMs, and now pool to peer models kind of coming back into vogue. And we've been here this whole time. Hey, what's up?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's going to be an interesting thing to see. Um, um, Clubs on Solana have really taken a
Struggled.
back seat for now, and we hope to see that change as well, because that's it's good to have options in the market.
For sure.
Whatever people want to trade, it's better to have optimal options. So I think that is where we are going to see a lot more teams coming up to the space, taking the lead, and a lot more experienced teams. It's I think the tilt is towards being Solana focused, heavy hitting engineering talent teams, doing some good work. So excited to see what Phoenix is going to bring. But yeah, we've had off bad discussions with the team, and are excited to check out what they've got. And I think it's an interesting proposition for someone who's been running prop AMMs for quite a while, who have run an order book for themselves, so tried to build an L2 in a different space. So that team's got got it all,
Yeah, heck
and
of
I
a lot
think
of
it'll
experience.
be interesting what they bring to the table. And yeah, it's going to be some sort of a permission club design for permission for market makers, but permissionless for taker orders, and anyone trying to trade. So I think that's an interesting mechanic out there. But yeah, because they haven't released much publicly, right, we're still waiting
It's fair.
to see how they pull it off, and it's an exciting time for Solana DeFi.
Yeah, for sure. And in the perp space, it's exciting as well. We keep seeing new innovations being pushed out as well, with different teams trying different things. Like it's Anas is probably going to grill me if I get this wrong, but I think it's Bullish. Is that the one? Oh, okay, it is. And then there's
Which?
Bullet.
Bullet. It's Bullet. Bullet is different. They have this thing where they are trying to work through a rule-up system where you have to bridge your assets and you have to trust those validators with your assets.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we'll see.
It's a true layer 2 solution, right? So yeah. That's the big difference we wanted to completely avoid.
Yes, we hate bridging assets and then trusting certain set of validators with your money, and it's overall the system doesn't scale as much when you're using bridges, because when people are bringing up huge money, they will always ask who is actually signing the transactions, and then with our integration of the ER rollups, we'll just tell them there are no one who's going to sign transactions. It's all on Solana. So that is something that we really want to make it straight and make build towards it.
Sorry, we had a 5-year-old interruption. 5-year-old
worries.
interruption. But yes, I was just basically trying to get into a little bit. What is Bullish, by the way? I'm such a jerk.
Bullet.
No, there's another one called Bullish, right? Or is it called Bull
No.
or something? It was at the Solana conference.
Bulk. You're talking about
Bulk. That was it.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh
Bulk.
my
What was that? Yeah, see, I told you. I was like, Anas is gonna kill me. Yeah, I was actually there for their talk. That's the worst part.
All right.
Bulk, what is Bulk all about?
See, the thing about bulk is it's still we don't have anything something that we can quantify right now. It's just
nothing
all
concrete.
texts, and so very hard to comment on it. It's just people who are backing them are shouting about it as of now, so don't want to comment on it.
Token first, protocol later. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, if anybody has any questions for us, drop them in the comments now. If not, we'll wait here just a few moments to see if anything rolls in. But if you're enjoying what you are seeing here, if you're enjoying this week's Flash Hour, which we do every single week at 4 p.m. UTC, drop a like, drop a comment. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, stay up to date with Flash Hour or Flash Trade. And of course, if you're on X, then drop us a follow. We'd greatly appreciate that. It looks like no questions this week. We're rolling these out every single week for you guys, and potentially rolling out some other goodies for you, bringing on some new faces and things like that. As far as partners, we're definitely looking to get more into an interactive flash hour. So any suggestions and or comments, of course, you can join our Discord. Get in there, yell at us, let us know what we're doing wrong. We love to hear it. And other than that, we will bid you gentlemen adieu. Did you want anything, or do you have anything else to add?
Nope, I think we're good. Please bully us if you see anything that's not working on Flash.
Particularly the janitor. I'll see you guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate you watching Flash Hour. Again, we will be on next week. This is a rolling show, so it does happen every single week at Monday at 4 p.m. UTC. Book it in your calendar, whatever you need to do. Stay up to date with Flash Trade. Look forward to a lot of new things coming out this new year. With the ER, ephemeral roll-up, if you hear us say that, that's just one. I know we're dropping the ER all over the place. But yeah, it's just ephemeral roll-up. That is actually magic block. I spelled it wrong in the slides. Janitor's fault. You can yell at me later in Discord. But again, with magic block coming up, we just have so much on the docket. We've got Seeker Phone app rolling out, massive improvements from the back end. Thank you to the dev team for that. Frost is working extra hard on making sure every single optimization is there for you all for mobile, because we do know that 50% of our users actually do use mobile, 50% use desktop. And for some reason, there's a small percentage of you who use tablet. You're insane. I don't know why, but good for you. If you guys have ever put in a schlong, which is a long and a short, drop a like for me. Drop a comment. Feed the algorithm so that we can get this to as many people as possible. And of course, as always, traders, I'll see you in the markets.